mengenai topik agama, sains, dan humaniora. Hal ini merupakan kesempatan emas bagi kita semua untuk memberikan pemahaman dan memperkaya ilmu. Selanjutnya, hadirin sekalian, mari kita bersama-sama menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia, Indonesia Raya, dan lagu kebangsaan Malaysia, Negaraku. Kepada hadirin dipersilakan untuk berdiri. Diminta untuk tetap berdiri untuk menyanyikan lagu resmi Universitas Gadjah Mada dan Universitas Malaya.
Siti Murtiningsih, kebanggaan kita semua, bersama para ilmuwan di berbagai lapangan. Kami bersedia di hati, mencapai cita budi, tradisi kedua-duanya, menyebar jiwa wawasan. Di sini kami sedia berpasti, terus berinovasi. Kami harapkan generasi muda terus nusa dan bangsa. Bersih kesayangan budi, sungguh banyak jasa budi, membentuk insan mulia, berilmu berbudaya. Di sini kami sedia berpasti, terus berinovasi. Kami harapkan generasi muda terus nusa dan bangsa. Bersih kesayangan budi, sungguh banyak jasa budi, membentuk insan mulia, berilmu berbudaya.
Terima kasih. Akhirnya persilakan duduk kembali. Berikutnya, kita akan menyaksikan penayangan video dari Pusat Dialog dari Fakultas Filsafat Universitas Gadjah Mada, dilanjutkan dari Pusat Dialog Peradaban Universitas Malaya. Welcome to the Faculty of Philosophy at Universitas Gadjah Mada, where the pursuit of wisdom, the exploration of cultural heritage, and the implication of philosophical inquiry are deeply intertwined. Established in 1967, it stands as a sole faculty dedicated to philosophy within a public university in Indonesia. Over the decades, the faculty has undergone a long and transformative journey, adapting to the evolving needs of society and academic world. From its modest beginning, the faculty has continuously expanded its programs, research, and research initiatives, responding to both local and global developments. Today, the Faculty of Philosophy boasts over 850 students with thousands of alumni who have gone on to make significant contributions across various fields. These alumni carry with them not only the knowledge gained from their studies, but also the critical thinking, and ethical frameworks that are the hallmarks of philosophical education. Here, we believe that philosophy is not narrowly an academic discipline, but a way of life, guiding us to critically engage with the world, to seek understanding, and to contribute meaningfully to society. Our mission is to enhance the quality of philosophy education by integrating both global perspectives and local wisdom. We are dedicated to producing scholars who are not only excellent in their academic pursuits, but also grounded in values of Pancasila, Indonesia's foundational philosophical ideology. We also place a strong emphasis on research and are committed to enhancing the quality of our community service initiatives, particularly in fields of philosophy and local wisdom. To support this efforts, we are continuously improving our institutional management, human resources, administration, and financial systems. Collaboration is another key aspect of our mission. We actively seek to strengthen our relationships with various stakeholders, academic institutions, government agencies, cultural organizations, and the private sector to promote education, research, and community service that are both innovative and deeply rooted in philosophical inquiry. The strength of our faculty lies in its diversity, not only in the backgrounds of our professors and lecturers, but also in the breadth of academic disciplines we cover. Our faculty is actively expanding its research interests to address the challenges and opportunities of the modern world. We are advancing scholarship in ethics, particularly as it relates to contemporary moral issues and social justice. Philosophy of science and technology, where we critically examine the ethical implications of technological advancements and their impact on society. Philosophy of religion and culture, where we explore how philosophical ideas intersect with cultural practices and religious beliefs. Furthermore, social and political philosophy, where we analyze and critique the philosophical underpinnings of political systems, governance, and social structures. The Faculty of Philosophy is not only dedicated to academic excellence, but also to the holistic development of our students. We believe that education extends beyond the classroom, and we are committed to providing opportunities for students to develop their competencies and skills through a wide range of extracurricular activities. Every year, our faculty also welcomes international students from various countries who come to learn about Indonesian culture, including events related to Pancasila, arts, religion, and other social phenomena. To support our academic and extracurricular activities, the Faculty of Philosophy offers a range of state-of-the-art facilities designed to inspire and nurture intellectual and creative growth, such as our library that provides access to an extensive collection of both online and physical books and journals. Our Gamelan and Wayang allow students to engage with traditional Indonesian arts and bring a unique opportunity to explore the philosophical dimensions of music and performance. Furthermore, in our commitment to inclusivity, the faculty has also prioritized providing better access for all students, including those with disabilities or physical limitations.
For the first time in human history, civilizations, cultures, and groups are compelled to relate to one another on a constant and continuous basis. Yet mutual ignorance exacerbated by mutual suspicion and hostility inhibits them from establishing ties that endure and flourish. Dialogue and mutual understandings are the prerequisites for building just and equitable relations between cultures and civilizations. Dialogue of Civilization, DOC, could help strengthen relationships and improve understanding regarding the fundamental principles and practices of various communities. Due to the fact that DOC was fast becoming a much-needed mechanism for discoursing issues that arise from the inevitable encounter between nations, ethnic groups, faith systems, ideologies, worldviews, and cultures, On the 13th of November 1996, the University Malaya Center for Civilizational Dialogue, UMCCD, was established.
Selanjutnya, kita memasuki sesi pembacaan doa dari perwakilan Universitas Malaya kepada Ahmad Muslim bin Abdul Malik. Kami persilakan maju ke depan untuk dapat memimpin.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Sesungguhnya kami dihimpun pada hari ini bagi menjadikan kesyukuran di atas kurniaan-Mu yang tidak ternilai. Jadikanlah kami hamba-hamba-Mu yang sentiasa bersyukur sama ada nikmat yang sedikit, lebih-lebih lagi nikmat yang melimpah ruah kepada kami. Ya Allah, ya Hayyu, ya Qayyum, sesungguhnya Engkau mengetahui bahawa kami di sini ingin menimba ilmu-Mu yang sangat luas bagi mengembangkan potensi kami sebagai hamba-Mu yang Engkau redai. Justru berkati dan rahmatilah program International Seminar on Religion, Science and Humanities. Kurniakanlah kepada ilmu-Mu, sinarlah hati-hati kami dengan cahaya dan hidayah-Mu. Semoga dengannya kami mudah menerima, menghayati serta mengamalkannya. Ya Dzal Jalali wal Ikram, kurniakanlah juga kepada kami kesihatan anggota, kecerdasan minda, ketenangan jiwa, kekuatan semangat. Semoga dengannya kami mampu mendapati cabaran, meraih saing, serta mampu mengangkat martabat diri, keluarga, masyarakat dan negara. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma wa la taj'al illahumma fina wa la ma'ana wa la man yatba'una shaqiyya wa la maghmuna. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina 'adzaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Baik, para hadirin sekalian, untuk memulai pembukaan secara seremoni, mari kita sambut yang terhormat Dr. Siti Murtiningsih selaku Dekan Fakultas Filsafat Universitas Gadjah Mada untuk memberikan kata sambutan serta pidato peresmian atau seminar yang akan kita laksanakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan bagi kita semua. Selamat datang, ini kita mendapatkan kesempatan yang luar biasa bertemu kembali dengan Ibu Asma. Saya kira sudah sekian puluh tahun. Terakhir tahun 2006. Waduh, sudah berapa puluh tahun. Ya, yang terhormat Profesor Dr. Muh Fauzi Hamad di ruang seberang sana, Dekan Akademi Pengajian Islam University Malaysia. Kemudian yang terhormat Profesor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Azizan Baharuddin, ahli Majlis Kebangsaan Hal Ehwal Agama Islam Malaysia. Kemudian yang terhormat juga telah hadir Dr. Abdul Halim Ibrahim, Ketua Program Sains Gunaan dengan Pengajian Islam, Akademi Pengajian Islam University Malaya. Yang kami hormati Profesor Madya Dr. Ahmad Farid Abu Bakar, selaku penyelaras sarjana muda pengajian Islam alam sekitar University Malaya. Kemudian tentu yang kami hormati sekaligus kami kagumi selalu Ibu Dr. Asmawati Muhammad, selaku dosen senior program Sains Gunaan dengan Pengkajian Islam dan Timbalan Direktur Pusat Direk Peradaban University Malaya. Dan juga teman-teman adik-adik mahasiswa ini, saya menyebut apa ini? Mahasiswa. Semester, rata-rata semester 7. Luar biasa. Salam kenal, salam sayang, salam hormat dari kami seluruh sivitas akademi Fakultas Filsafat. Hadir bersama kita di sini ada Ibu Wakil Dekan Bidang Kerjasama Alumni dan juga Riset Pengajian, yaitu Ibu Dr. Iva Aryani. Dan ini mohon izin Bapak Wakil Dekan Bidang Pengajaran Pendidikan Akademik sedang ada di kelas, dan juga Ibu Wakil Dekan Bidang Sarana Prasarana, Keuangan, dan juga Sumber Daya Manusia sedang ada di kelas, sehingga salam hormat, salam kenal, dan berharap teman-teman dan juga seluruh sivitas dari saudara kita Universitas Malaya kembali hadir di sini, dan kita semakin mempererat silaturahmi ini. Dan juga hadir di sini juga ini teman-teman kita dari Fakultas Filsafat yang rata-rata juga sama dengan teman-teman yang dari Malaya, semester 7 ya. Iya. Oh, semester 5. Aduh, terlalu bongsor-bongsor gitu ya. Makannya di kantin Wifa, gitu kan? Makannya bongsor-bongsor. Ya, rata-rata semester 5 dan semuanya semester 5 ya, dari unit di bawah Ibu Wakil Dekan Bidang Pengabdian, Riset, dan Kerjasama. Nah, saya kira it's with a great pleasure and pride that I welcome you to our university today. We are deeply honored to host the distinguished delegation from University Malaya, comprises of both esteemed lecturers and bright students. This visit marks a significant movement in fostering academic collaboration and building stronger ties between our two faculties. The relationship between our institution has long been characterized by shared values in education, research, and a commitment to the pursuit of philosophical knowledge. In today's interconnected academic world, cross-border collaboration are essential, not only to broaden our intellectual horizons, but also to address global challenges through collective efforts. One of the key highlights of this visit is the roundtable discussion among our lecturers. This session will provide a platform to discuss potential research collaboration that will explore new dimensions of philosophical inquiry and make meaningful contribution to both economy and society. We believe that through this exchange of ideas and expertise, we can identify, share research interest, and work together on projects that will enhance the impact of our philosophical endeavors on a global scale. Alongside this, the university tour will offer you an insight into our academic environment, and the seminar presentation and student discussion will foster a platform for intellectual exchange and connection among our young scholars. We hope that throughout your visit, you will experience the warmth of our faculty and students, as well as the richness of Yogyakarta's cultural heritage. It's our hope that this visit will not only strengthen academic collaboration, but also spark personal friendships that will last far beyond your time here. I look forward to the productive discussion and fruitful exchange that will take place over the next few days. Let this visit serve as a testament to the shared vision of University Malaya and University Gadjah Mada in advancing philosophical thought and nurturing the next generation of scholars. Thank you, and once again, welcome to the Faculty of Philosophy Universitas Gadjah Mada. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Dr. Siti Murtiningsih atas pidato peresmian The International Seminar on Religion, Science, and Humanities. Selanjutnya, saya persilakan kepada Dr. Asmawati selaku dosen senior program Sains Gunaan dengan Pengajian Islam dan Timbalan Direktur Pusat Dialog Peradaban Universitas Malaya untuk memberikan pidato pembukaan. Mari kita undang Dr. Asmawati Muhammad.
Thank you to the Master of the Ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all the wonderful people here. Yang sangat saya hormati lagi kasihi Ibu Dekan Dr. Siti Murtiningsih, Dekan Fakultas Filsafat Universitas Gadjah Mada, Ibu Dr. Iva Aryani selaku Wakil Dekan Bidang Penelitian, Pengabdian kepada Masyarakat, Kerjasama dan Alumni, Profesor Dr. Lasio, Ketua Departemen Filsafat Agama dan Dosen Etika, Dr. Saptini, Ketua Departemen Filsafat Timur dan Dosen Filsafat Budaya, Dr. Supartinsih, Ketua Departemen Filsafat Barat dan Dosen Filsafat Sosial. Yang saya turut raikan juga yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Muhammad Fauzi Hamad, Dekan Akademi Pengajian Islam Universiti Malaya. Yang berbahagia Profesor Madya Dr. Muhammad Azrin, Timbalan Dekan Bahagian Sarjana Muda. Yang terhormat Profesor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Azizan Baharuddin, mantan pengarah Pusat Dialog Peradaban Universiti Malaya, sekarang menjalankan menjadi ahli Majlis Kebangsaan Ahli Hal Ehwal Agama Islam Malaysia. Yang terhormat Dr. Abdul Halim Ibrahim, Ketua Program Sains Gunaan dengan Pengajian Islam, Akademi Pengajian Islam Universiti Malaya. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Ahmad Farid Abu Bakar. Seterusnya, seluruh mahasiswa Universitas Gadjah Mada serta Universiti Malaya. Alhamdulillah, syukur kehadrat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, dengan limpah kurnianya kami telah sekali lagi, saya khususnya dapat berkunjung ke UGM setelah hampir 20 tahun mengunjungi universiti yang sangat bermakna bagi saya. Okay. On behalf of the entire visiting group of Yogyakarta at this voyage, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Universitas Gadjah Mada for warm welcoming and enthusiasm. It is truly a privilege to be here surrounded by such an inspiring academic community and a place renowned for its excellence in philosophy and cultural values. I am very delighted to accompany the final year students from the Applied Science with Islamic Studies Program, Academy of Islamic Studies, University Malaya, for a short outbound mobility program to UGM, as it holds fond memories for me from my first visit to UGM in 2006 as a postgraduate student at that time, doing my master's degree. Furthermore, when I pursued my PhD, I had another opportunity to build friendships with students from this Fakultas Filsafat, Bapak Samsul Ma'arif dan juga Ibu Nafisa, who participating in the Paris Summer School on Islam and Science. What I would like to express here is that the academic exposure I gained during my first scholarly visit abroad, which is here in Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta yang sangat terkenal sebagai kota budaya, kota pelajar, kota pariwisata. Open my eyes and mind to gain new experiences and pearls of wisdom from other leading universities, that is UGM. This experience has driven my efforts towards international collaboration after serving as a lecturer at University Malaya. Many thanks to Dr. Eva for graciously arranging and welcoming us in the joint organization of this academic visit, which encompasses an international seminar on religion, science, and philosophy, a roundtable discussion, and a students' forum. This time, from UM side, it involves academic staff from Applied Science with Islamic Studies program and University Malaya Center for Civilizational Dialogue, supported by our students from the Lajnah Applied Science with Islamic Studies, or their short form is ASIS, and the UNESCO Club. We sincerely appreciate the time and effort you have dedicated to hosting us today. The chance to engage with your distinguished faculty, explore your vibrant campus, steep in cultural heritage, and connect with your outstanding students has been enlightening. These experiences will broaden our perspectives, enrich our understanding, and strengthen our institutions' collaborative ties. Hopefully, academic visits like this, along with seminars, will continue to take place periodically. We look forward to the Faculty of Philosophy and the students of UGM to visit University Malaya in the near future. Once again, thank you and congratulations to all those involved, especially the students from UGM and UM who collaborated closely to ensure the success of today's program. Your gracious welcome, Ibu, and thoughtful organization made our visit now not only educational but memorable. With that, thank you very much.
Terima kasih Dr. Asmawati untuk pidato pembukaannya. Dimohon untuk tetap berdiri di tempat karena kita akan memasuki sesi gift giving ceremony dan photography session. Selanjutnya, kepada Dr. Siti Murtiningsih selaku perwakilan dari Universitas Gadjah Mada dipersilakan untuk menyerahkan kenang-kenangan kepada Dr. Asmawati selaku perwakilan Universiti Malaya.
Satu, dua, tiga.
Ya, jadi ibu ya.
Satu, dua, tiga.
Oh, iya.
Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga.
Terima kasih.
Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga. Begitu ya.
Dimohon untuk mereka dan para dosen tetap di tempat. Selanjutnya para hadirin sekalian dapat dapat berdiri maju ke depan karena kita akan melanjutkan sesi foto bersama.
Silakan ada yang di belakang. Silakan ada yang di belakang, di atas panggung.
Atau bisa.
Silakan ada yang
Di depan. Saya udah lupa jongkok.
Mas, jangan di belakang aja, yang tinggi. Bukan maaf, bukan yang ngusir.
Aku salahnya.
Silakan.
Kelihatan nggak? Kelihatan nggak ini ya?
Katanya nggak kelihatan.
Nggak kelihatan.
Berdiri aja, berdiri aja. Ya. Kena meja.
Miring-miring.
Gas.
Kelihatan nggak?
Pak Gas kelihatan.
Kelihatan nggak? Maksudnya nggak deketan lagi.
Oh, kelihatan.
Oh ya, kelihatan.
Lihat sini ya. Lihat kamera, jangan lihat saya. Baik. Baik, senyum. Kiraan 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 lagi, 1, 2, 3. Gaya bebas. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Paris ini, ke Paris. Coy, ada kamera juga di belakang. Jadi foto dibantu sama masnya. Ya, dibantu. Kamera. Boleh kasih ke Pak Cik.
Boleh lihat di hadapan untuk kita ambil gambar bersama-sama.
Oh iya, Prof Aziz. Kelihatan nggak deh?
Oh, empat kali ya. Lihat sini.
Oke, siji loro telu. Nah, masih ke Malaysia aja masih juga. 1, 2, 3. Nah,
1, 2, 3. Ada lagi. Satu, dua. Satu, dua.
Sekarang video.
Kalau video pakai Kanan.
Tengok ya, 1, 2, 3.
Halo.
Mana UM?
UGM.
UGM.
Udah.
Hadirin sekalian dapat kembali dan kita tetap kita bantu dengan pasti. Para hadirin sekalian, kita akan memasuki acara selanjutnya, yaitu sesi ucapan oleh keynote speaker yang akan dibawakan oleh Profesor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Azizan Baharuddin dari Departemen Sains dan Teknologi Fakultas Sains Universitas Malaya melalui video Zoom. Tetapi sebelum itu, sebagai pengantar singkat, saya akan membacakan latar belakang dan kontribusi keynote speaker kita hari ini. Profesor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Azizan Baharuddin meraih gelar sarjana sains biologi dengan pujian dari University of Tasmania, Australia pada tahun 1978, diikuti dengan gelar magister sains dari University College London pada tahun 1979. Puncak perjalanan akademisnya yaitu dengan meraih gelar Doktor Filsafat Sains dan Islam dari University of Manchester, Inggris pada tahun 1989. Keahliannya mencakup berbagai bidang, termasuk etika lingkungan, pembangunan berkelanjutan, hubungan Islam dan sains, bioetika, dan dialog antar agama atau antar peradaban. Ia telah menulis lebih dari 200 publikasi, termasuk karya-karya seperti Civilization and Sustainability, Guardianship of the Environment in the Context of Religion, Thought, and Practice pada tahun 2022, dan Environmental Ethics in Islam pada tahun 2018, yang berdampak pada wacana seputar agama, sains, dan berkelanjutan. Atas kontribusinya, Profesor Emeritus Datuk Azizan dianugerahi gelar Profesor Emeritus oleh Fakultas Sains Universitas Malaya pada tahun 2023. Jabatan yang dipegang oleh beliau termasuk Direktur Pusat Dialog Peradaban di Universitas Malaya, Ketua UKM YSD untuk Keberlanjutan Universitas Kebangsaan Malaysia, Fellow dari Academy of Sciences Malaysia, anggota Majelis Kebangsaan bagi Hal Ehwal Agama Islam Malaysia, dari Academy of Science Malaysia, Honorary Fellow di Institut Masa Depan Malaysia, mantan Ketua Dewan Bioetika Nasional, mantan Ketua Komite Nasional untuk Promosi Pengamanan dan Kerukunan Antar Umat Beragama Malaysia, dan mantan anggota UNESCO dari Komite Bioetika Internasional Paris, Presiden Majlis Umum Perserikatan Bangsa-Bangsa ke-70, New York pada tahun 2016. Ia juga merupakan anggota tim perancang Al-Mizan, sebuah perjanjian untuk bumi etika lingkungan Islam (UNEP) yang diluncurkan selama Forum Lingkungan PBB ke-6 di Kenya Februari 2024. Mari kita sambut pembicara pertama kita, yaitu Profesor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Azizan Baharuddin untuk menyampaikan pidato utamanya.
Terima kasih. Thank you to our Madam Master of Ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Yang dihormati Dr. Siti Murtiningsih, Dekan Fakultas Filsafat UGM, Profesor Dr. Muhammad Fauzi Hamad, Dekan Akademi Pengajian Islam Universiti Melaya, Dr. Asmawati Muhammad, Deputy Director, Center for Civilizational Dialogue Universiti Melaya, Dr. Abdul Halim Ibrahim, Ketua Program Sains Gunaan dengan Pengajian Islam, Akademi Pengajian Islam, Associate Profesor Dr. Ahmad Farid Abu Bakar, Koordinator Sarjana Muda Pengajian Islam Alam Sekitar Universiti Melaya, Profesor Dr. Lasio, Ketua Departemen Filsafat Agama dan Dosen Etika, Dr. Sartini Muhammad Hum, Ketua Departemen Filsafat Timur dan Dosen Filsafat Budaya, Dr. Supartini Ningsih, Ketua Departemen Filsafat Barat dan Dosen Filsafat Sosial, dan semua yang hadir. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be with you and a very good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful seminar this morning. Thank you and congratulations also for choosing the theme of the conference, which touches on the role of culture in the context of the globe. We must talk about diversity, of course, towards sustainability. Inshallah, in the time given, I will touch upon a document that is an example of the products of a study harmonizing religion, inspiring the science of the planet or the environment towards sustainability. So I will introduce Al-Mizan, which even though is an Islamic text, but I will be talking about it in the context of cultural and religious diversity, not just in our region, but also in the context of the world, so that we will ensure inclusivity in all of our efforts. So I am made to understand that at Universitas Gadjah Mada, for example, the audience today may not all be Muslims. So I hope that the brief introduction to Al-Mizan will make you realize that together with communities of other faith groups in the world, Muslims are very actively thinking and applying how their faith tradition can impact solutions towards sustainability in the context of climate change today, in the context of the various crises, unsustainability crisis that we see in the world. Yeah. So I'm so sorry about the background that you see behind me. Technically, I was not able to remove the background in time for this conference. And I would also like to announce that I will be assisted by Ms. Nurain Natasha to have a look at my slides. Okay. Okay, this is the title that is given to me. Inshallah, we will go through the most critical points. Next slide. Okay, this is what we'll try to get through. What is the meaning of Al-Mizan itself, and what is the scope of the document? So it will cover the idea that we are now in an age geologists call the Anthropocene. which is the age of man. And this is quite unique, geologically speaking, because in the last just 100 years, human beings have made such an important impact on nature, such that we cannot ignore the fact that we are now a real threat to nature, and this we are the causes of a lot of the threats that we see in the context of climate change. And then we will see the role of religion and spirituality. I know the theme is about cultural diversity, but if you look at the word culture, and dosen-dosen filsafat di Universitas Gadjah Mada, please correct me here, a very important part of culture is of course religion, and religion is actually the basis for cultures. So I will, in this context of this morning, I will be speaking about religion as well as the context of culture at the same time, I hope. And then we must speak about the important role of civilizational dialogue. And here too, we have our Islamic perspective. And we'd like to press the point that the ideas that we put forth, especially in the context of this morning, are actually already agreed upon by colleagues of other faith groups. In other words, we hope we are not talking in a vacuum. Next, I'm very happy to note that we are actually also in the context of Al-Mizan, harmonizing science and religion, religion and economics, religion and law, religion and all the other disciplines of knowledge, which Muslims may call ilmu dunya. But this knowledge of the dunya, of the world, is actually important because it gives you the context and it allows you a basis for understanding the messages of the Quran, for example. And then we must remind ourselves that we need to change the way we perceive ourselves, our place in the world. And last but not least, we all have to act, because in Islam, for example, talking to the Muslims, we have this tripartite of knowledge, faith, and action, ilmu, iman, and amal. Next. Okay, so what does the term Al-Mizan means? For the Muslims, maybe especially our students who are doing Islamic studies, they understand what it means. It means a balance, yeah. And it is the name of the document is inspired by Surah Ar-Rahman ayat 7 to 10, where Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, He, that is Allah, set up the balance, which is Al-Mizan, so that you may not exceed the balance. Weigh with justice and do not fall short in the balance. He has spread out the earth for all living creatures. So this ayat need to be, we have to do tadabbur on this ayat, especially in the context of what is happening in the world today. And you may like to also take note that Ar-Rum, Surah Ar-Rum ayat 41 also speak about the fasad, or the disturbances, the imbalance, if you like, that has taken place on land and in the sea due to the actions of human beings. And Allah Subhanahu wa Taala requires human beings, not just Muslims only, to take heed of what they have done, and to come back to the way that nature is supposed to be handled by human beings. Therefore, it's Al-Mizan speaks about how we can actually meet the challenge of Anthropocene. Yeah? And here again, we speak in the spirit of inclusivity, and we all know that other faith traditions, such as in Christianity, they have the document of Laudato Si, for example, and other faith groups too may have their own pledges of helping the environment. Next, please. Okay. So just like to draw your attention also to this important document, which is accepted by the whole world in the year 2012 specifically, but the Earth Charter was drawn up as a result of the meeting of almost all the members of the United Nations in the world, and that accounts for about more than 180 countries in the world, including Indonesia and Malaysia. So in the preamble of this charter, it says that we are all standing at a critical moment in Earth's history, a time when humanity must choose its future. As the world becomes increasingly interdependent and fragile, the future at once holds great peril and also great promise. So to move forward, we must recognize that in the midst of a magnificent diversity of cultures and life forms, we are one human family and one Earth community with a common destiny. We must join together to bring forth a sustainable global society founded on respect for nature, human rights, economic justice, and a culture of peace. And towards this end, it is imperative that we, the people of the earth, declare our responsibility to one another and to the greater community of life and to future generations. Now, as Muslims, if Muslims look at this paragraph, there's nothing, I think, say this very humbly, and if anyone begs to differ, that's okay. But I hope we will be differing in opinion in a civilized manner. I'm sorry to have to say this out loud because sometimes there are pockets of people who don't like their faith to be generalized to include other people or of other groups. So this is very critical because this day and age, people sometimes bring their grouses into social media. They don't do proper dialogues, they don't do proper discussions. So very humbly, I would like to say that the Quran actually speaks to the whole of humanity. So if the Earth Charter says that the whole of humanity must recognize that it is now at a point where there is going to be great peril or great promise, yeah, because if we don't do something about climate change and what's happening in the world, the injustices, the social injustices, the economic injustices, then we will be in peril. So this is very important. And we are but one human family, Bani Adam. So if there are people of other worldviews that says, no, we are not Bani Adam, we are from apes, we believe in the evolution theory, that too, those people too, we must be able to dialogue with them. Yeah. So what we are all looking for is sustainable global society. What is sustainable? Able to what do you call it, to survive into the future. And many evidences are showing us that if we are not careful, we might not be able to survive for very long. And then this is not a melodramatic statement. This is what we encounter in terms of facts and figures. Yeah. Okay. So Al-Mizan for us is a response. It's one kind of response. And Al-Mizan was launched in this year in February under the United Nations Environment Program. So it's a very recent document, and it follows another document by Muslim scholars and scientists launched in 2015 called the Islamic Declaration for Climate Change. So Al-Mizan is a more comprehensive document, if you like, combining all the major Islamic teachings, relating all the Islamic teachings, basic Islamic teachings, to what is needed today. That is, in terms of our behavioral change in mindset, and also change in behavior. Next. So again, I would like to refer all of us to this very historical meeting in Stockholm. Everybody understands that in 1972, the whole idea of sustainability was at that time still in an infant stage. And at that point, already faith groups came together and made this declaration or made this statement that we are now in that part of history where we have to take action. Yeah, we need to be taking prudent care of our environment and to see and understand what are the consequences of our action or inaction in context of the environment. Through ignorance or indifference, we can do massive and irreversible harm to the earthly environment on which our life and well-being depend. So, you know, the three support systems of our existence: water, air, you know, and the soil. Everything we eat, everything we consume actually come from the soil. So if you don't take care of these three life support systems, then we are actually being either indifference, ignorant, or worse still, unjust to the environment. So today people talk about ecological justice. So people talk about ecological ethics, environmental ethics. So you not only have to have ethics between man and man, but most fundamentally, you must also have ethics between man and nature. So what we need today is a fuller knowledge and wiser action so that we can achieve for ourselves and our posterity or future generations a better life in an environment more in keeping with human needs and hopes. Yeah, so this was stated in 1972. And then 50 years on, in June 2022, again in Stockholm, the same more or less statement was made. So what do we understand here? So therefore, it is imperative, it is very important that we take our religion seriously. As Muslims, we know, for example, very, very simply, we must not waste. So this is a huge burden on nature today. There is so much wastage in terms of energy, in terms of water, in terms of food, and then we cry out loud about injustices. So the disparity is not only between individuals in a single society, but also, of course, between countries in the world. We all know this. So then we might say this is too much work for all of us to do. But here again, I would like to invite you to read through Al-Mizan, especially the Muslims and people who are non-Muslims. You can go back to your teachings and have a look, you know, and inter-civilizationally, interculturally, this is where dialogue comes in, and we can look at what are the common points that we can act upon. Next. And for those people who are agnostics, who are atheists, you know, they don't like this idea of religion entering the conversation. And actually, with due respects to everyone concerned, up until recently, if you look at the Western tradition, religion is not part of official governance, governing systems. In our part of the world, it depends, yeah, but I will not go into details. But as of 2007, for example, we already have official statements coming from the United Nations. And not that we are putting United Nations so much on a pedestal, but in the world today, if we want to bridge Muslim, non-Muslim, religious, non-religious countries, so who do we look to? Yeah, so United Nations. So United Nations already made a statement. Religious leaders are called upon to persuade their congregations to address climate change issues, sustainability issues, which have become the worst disaster for mankind. And the same year, maybe slightly before, and of course a lot after that, 2007 as well, we have studies like Paula Jones in the United Kingdom that speaks about the influence of religion on human behavior, especially vis-a-vis the environment or the planet. Next. Next one. Okay. So I would like to I've shown this slide many times. So friends like Dr. Asmawati, please, you can close your eyes now. But I think it's always good to remind ourselves what Alvin Toffler says. The illiterate of this century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn. What is it that we have to learn? We have to learn that we are now in dire straits. We have to take action. We have to change. We have to unlearn. What is it that we have to unlearn? All the bad habits, yeah, all the worldviews and ways of thinking that are not helping us vis-a-vis the stewards or the Khalifah that we're supposed to be. And then we have to relearn. And I think what we need to relearn is our tradition. For the Muslims, the Quran and the Hadith, and Al-Mizan in its 95 pages of words provide you that process of relearning. By the way, this document, I have already passed it to Mas Shiblun and also Dr. Asma, I think. So anyone in Gadjah Mada who are interested, who have no access, you can have access to these documents. Next. Yeah. So we need to change our overview. We need to change the way we perceive who we are. So what is dominant in the world today, and it is in tandem with extreme materialism, extreme profit making in terms of capitalism, is that man sees himself as the measure of everything. And he thinks that he can, using his own akal, his own reason, he can know and solve everything. So if resources are finite on the planet, let's say we finished all our fossil fuel, then we should go to other planets. And this is in opposition to the life-centered worldview, wherein we understand that man is not the measure of everything. We don't know everything. And you talk to any scientist, this is a fact of nature, yeah? Of life. And resources are finite and limits do exist, and that the material dimension should need to be balanced with spiritual dimension. I think everybody have heard by now that mental health issues are a great or a threat to our sustainability. Maybe in Indonesia, in Malaysia, we have our own statistics, but worldwide there is an increase in depression, in anxiety attacks and things like that. Why do you think this is so? Because man has lost the balance between his spiritual dimension and physical dimension. Next. Yeah, for Muslims, we are all aware of the SDG, for example. So what do we do with the SDG goals, the 17 goals? Well, some Muslims may not agree with this, but some Muslims scholars have already worked on the 17 SDGs, and they feel that it is related to, or it is acceptable for Muslims to work towards the 17 SDGs because it is related to the objectives of the Sharia or the way of life that is explained in the Quran. And this is, again, as we said earlier, explained also in detail in the Al-Mizan. So we, as Muslims, the Sharia or the way of life taught by religion is to support, to protect faith, life, intellect, lineage, and also our wealth. And if we agree with this, then we should be strengthening our three types of relationship in our existence: relationship between ourselves, relationship with the creator, and also relationship with the environment. Next. And today everybody knows that the sustainability approach is critical for everybody. Yeah, we now have to change our lifestyles, consumption patterns, the way we produce, the way we do our policies, and we need to have major shifts in our culture, economy, our relationships, our attitude to begin with. But unfortunately, and I hope the engineers, scientists, and economists amongst us don't feel slighted in this. I think everybody can be on the screen here. What we're trying to say here is we all have to change our attitude and feel that and understand that no single field of knowledge understands it all, can solve the problems by themselves. So we all the various disciplines need to work together, and we need especially the inputs of the spiritual leaders and the people who are teaching people philosophy, humanities, and of course religious studies. Next. So if my time is up, I hope that somebody will prompt me. Today, people also speak about sustainability, literacy, competencies. All of us have to have sustainability competencies. What does this mean? Actually, it's a simple idea where we come from in this part of the world. We all know this, that we should be combining our akal, our reason with our heart, with our emotions and our actions. Yeah. And then spirituality for us is something that is normal, biasa. Yeah? But in the West, you must understand where religion has been peripheralized. Yeah, put to the side, if you like. They talk about connectivity. So human beings need to be connected to nature. Yeah? So if you want to use religious ideas, if you want to use non-religious ideas, the fact remains that human beings can no longer be apart from nature. They have to be with nature. All of us must learn to appreciate nature, to go out there and appreciate forests, trees, understand what the functions of trees, of rivers and things around us. Yeah. in the physical scientific manner, but also at the same time understand that emotionally, spiritually, being with nature does something. It gives us the food, the spiritual food that we all need. Next. And this has been spoken out loud by some scholars from Malaysia. For example, in 2022 at the UNESCO World Higher Education Conference, where some scholar from Malaysia actually said that we need an 18th goal, which is what? Which is ethics, which is values. Yeah. Next. Yeah, and for Muslims, I would like to draw our attention. What we need to do, as expounded by Al-Mizan, is that we have to realize if we believe in the Quran, then is there a choice? If you're a Muslim, can you not believe in the Quran? So in Al-Baqarah, ayat 143, Allah says, we have made you a middle nation so that you may be a witness over mankind, and the messenger may be a witness over you. Look at that phrase, yeah, a witness over mankind, not just over your own kind. And that what we do, the messenger will be witness over us. So how can we be witness of other people when we lack knowledge, when we lack iman, when we lack the willpower, when we lack the means? Yeah. So I'm so thankful that the organizers have invited me today just to share this. Maybe all of you know this, but for me, this is very critical for all Muslims with any capacity, with knowledge, with monies, with power. Yeah, you have to utilize that for doing what the faith says. Yeah, and usually shahid. Yeah, people understand shahid in a limited way, but the broader implication of shahid is witness. We are witnessing. Yeah? We witness this importance of taking care of the environment, and it is our duty to communicate whatever we believe in to everyone in all generations. And like I said, if there are people in the audience or whoever is listening in, because I spoke about this to a group in Cardiff, United Kingdom, they were all non-Muslims, for example. I think that there is no time for quarreling. If you don't believe in something, you disagree, we just keep talking about it, and we do what we can in a manner that is not impinging on other people's rights. Yeah? Next. So Al-Mizan actually started in 2019, and it was at the behest or at the request of a meeting by all the Islamic world ministers of environment. They decided to call this document Al-Mizan because, as we said just now, they draw inspiration from Surah 55, and the first draft was shared by more than 300 Islamic institutions and international, which means non-Islamic partners, for feedback and consultation. And the core team appreciates the efforts of all the Muslims who responded, and also the non-Muslim groups who responded, especially the Muslim Council of Elders for their valuable revision of the Arabic version. So now there is an Arabic version, there's a English version, of course, and guess what? For very good news for people in Gadjah Mada, there is already a Bahasa Indonesia version of Al-Mizan, and Al-Mizan will be spoken about much more in the coming months in Indonesia, because there is also news that Prince Hassan of Jordan, who has taken up Al-Mizan to be applied in a practical way in his country, he may want to come to Indonesia to talk about the importance of Al-Mizan in the context of Indonesian society. So Al-Mizan is a historical document, and I hope I'm not seen to be advertising. I think in Islam we believe that ad-din is an-nasiha. Yeah? Religion is advice. So, and also berpesan-pesan, as in Surah Al-As. So we need to remind each other of the good things that we need to do, and I hope this is what we are doing today. And we have been fortunate to be a part of the core team of this Al-Mizan document. Next. Yeah, so you can have a look who has been involved in this drafting team, and of course each one of them on the list of course will have their own network of scholars and friends and colleagues who help them in their research for this Al-Mizan. Next. And oh yeah, in the drafting team, I would like to highlight Dr. Fakhruddin Mangunjaya of University Indonesia. I think you've heard of him. He's a very active person in Indonesia vis-a-vis environmental work. So if he's listening in this morning, I hope he can get in touch with him for all the wonderful work done in Indonesia. Next. Yeah, so this is in a sense what the table of content in the document looks like. It falls under topics that are more that intended to explain the what the Quran says about what is happening in the world. Yeah, so of course it begins with reflections, and here the science evidence, the data is all there. What is happening in the world today, and then like we said before, Arum ayat 40, 41, human beings have done something, sometimes not quite just or mizan or balance in the world. And so one of the effects of this is global climate change. Okay, some people have the wrong notion that you're talking about climate, you're talking about floods. Okay, those are physical things, you know. Then it does not affect the other dimensions. No, we are totally wrong. When you have a flood, for example, what is the effect of that? There's social change, there's social upheaval, there's economic costs, and there is loss of biological diversity, there's issues of justice. Yeah. So we as believers, we must always remain hopeful. Even if you plant, even if it's going to be the end of the world tomorrow, we can plant a seed today, we must do so. So most critical, Al-Mizan reminds us of the cosmic equilibrium. Look here, yeah, the earth, the whole cosmos is not ours. It belongs to a creator. Yeah, I suppose this is the most difficult part. We say this out loud every day. Allah is the creator, and we are the Khalifa on earth. But then again, how do these statements actually affect us, and more critically, how does it determine our behavior? So then we talk about the ecological ethos and ethics in Islam vis-a-vis taking care of the planet. And of course, we draw fantastic examples or practical examples from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yeah. And so next, I cannot do this in great detail because of the limitations of time. Inshallah, in future sessions we can talk some more about this. Next. And then most critical, I think, is the issue of equity and justice regarding the sources of life. Many of us, we know we pay the zakat, we do the sadaqah. Did we understand that these practices in our religion, yeah, the tithe in Christianity, I don't know how the too much details about those, but if in the context of religion you have sadaqah, you have the zakat, take that very, very seriously, because the moment we don't take those principles properly, seriously, and practice it, lo and behold, we already start the chain of events that lead to ecological injustice, social injustice, economic injustice. And those of us who are well off, be careful of wastefulness. We don't realize this. Yeah. How many of you consciously, how many of us very consciously, when we leave the office, we leave the house, we actually switch off. Yeah? Today, people cry out loud against using fossil fuel. We must reduce the usage of fossil fuel. But that's on the big macro scale. But in the micro scale, there's so much water being wasted. There is so much power being wasted and energy being wasted. And who is at fault? Yeah? So I think every individual from infant stage up to peringkat dewasa, we all have a role to play. And the principles of of economic justice as described in Wakaf and Zakat and all that is actually taken up in the new modern idea of circular economy. In the world today, the West is talking about circular economy, wherein the economics of production, yeah, must try to eliminate waste, must try to eliminate injustice to the workers. That's why we have something, we have the policy of ESG, which is companies must take care of the environment, of the social condition of their workers and society around them, and also the governing system within their companies. So this is now mandatory, and for Muslims, this is very much in line with what the Sharia is wanting us to do. So, of course, very critical also exactly what in the Sharia are the principles for tending the earth. Is it there? Yes, it is all there. But the point is, it has to be understood in the context of what's happening around us. This is where tadabbur comes into the picture, and Al-Mizan does not pretend that it has explanations for every single thing that requires solving, but it invites further research. It merely triggers interest and gives the justifications for further work. So I hope some of the students listening in today will take this challenge and take Al-Mizan to the next level. Next. So here we are. You may not be too clear about this picture on the screen, but on the left is the scientist talking to us in terms of the fact that for a long time the world has been very stable, but as of 100 years ago, to be precise, the instability, and this is explained by the pictures on the right, is increased or made to increase many fold by the wanton changes that we've done on the planet. Yeah. So these pictures are from Malaysia mainly, but I'm sure you have similar pictures in Indonesia and elsewhere in the world, where we deforest, we don't care about the biodiversity effects. You know, we destroy habitats, yeah? And all of us understand that by now. Yeah, why is it that we have COVID-19, for example? It's because we have destroyed the habitats of animals that trigger these new viruses. So when these animals come out of the forest and they come closer to human habitat, so some of these viruses that were formerly kept in check, they have the opportunity to actually spread amongst human communities. So I hope we will take heed, especially those of us who are in the business and manufacturing sector. Does it mean that now we have to make less profits? No, that is not the idea at all. Again, as we said to you before, the notions of circular economy, the notions of taking care of the environment while doing your business is something which is not new anymore, and there's a huge body of knowledge about this. And I think those of us coming from religious traditions can benefit from this new knowledge. Next. Yeah, sorry to put this picture again. I've put it on screen many times, but I just feel that more and more this captures what is going on. You know, we cannot take care of everybody's greed, but actually there is enough for everybody's needs. It's a simple statement. You've heard it before, and you know the gap between rich and poor increases every single day. And for every one single person who is made a millionaire afresh, there's a million other human beings that are made poorer. So think about that, and is there a new way of looking at economics or doing economics? Yes, there is. So as I said, Al-Mizan triggers you to think about that. Next. Yeah. So the other thing is education. Yeah. So some of the pledges in the Al-Mizan talks. There are many pledges also included in the Al-Mizan. I mean, we pledge Muslims, we as Muslims, or the faith traditions, or just ordinary people out there. There's so many things we can do, but most critical is education. And the most easy people for us to educate and inform are those around us. So back at the University of Malaya, for example, our colleagues have gone out into the community, and we go, like in this example, we just go to a riverine community and explain to the community the importance of the riverine system, and the importance of taking care of the system, and what are the wonderful species that exist in that. In this particular community, is a riverine mangrove area. And mangrove area is very critical. It keeps stability of the ocean areas. And today they are in very great danger of being destroyed in many, many parts of the world. So in this context, the scientists, the scholars, you know, worked with the community and taught the children to be sensitive to what their area is all about, and they form clubs and they take care of the community and also help to spread the news to other people. Next. Yeah, so these are the pledges, too small to see, but most critical, it is about education, it is about changing our habits, about changing policies, about talking to businesses, to call upon the governing authorities and corporations, Islamic and other countries to take the action necessary to transition swiftly from fossil fuels to usher in a global economy powered by the sun, wind, and water, and to progressively reduce ecological impacts of the green energy sources. So there's so many pledges. I think we don't have time, but I think you can easily see what is necessary. But most critical, I think one message that we have to share is that in university education cannot remain just in the classroom. We have to take our students outside into the community and practice what they learn inside the campuses. Next. Okay, the challenge is two very critical ones. One is that we might fail to embody these teachings in our lives, that we might allow greed, laziness, or pettiness to divert us from the nobility of our teachings. And the other is the dominant economic paradigm of unending growth and consumption. So only a few people understand the economics of globalization, and only a few run and benefit by it. But failure to confront this may ultimately seal the damage of our global village. So the gravity of the looming environmental crisis threatens to eclipse all other crises in human history. Its effects make no distinction between race, religion, culture, or the lines we draw on maps. It should remind us that we are irrevocably connected with the creator of all the natural world. To God belong all things in the heavens and earth, and God has ever encompassed all things. So renew our relationship with the creator, understand what he has made plain in his books for us to follow and to avoid vis-a-vis taking care of the environment. I think that's ada lagi ke? Next. Yeah, we have some already practical policies in Malaysia, such as we had the wakaf air, water wakaf via the Ministry of Environment previously. Next. This is the detail of the wakaf venture. The wakaf principle, if you apply it in economic systems, in economic institutions, it can generate a lot of benefit for human beings, Muslims and non-Muslims. So you reduce waste, you reduce what they call it, negative impacts, and you do what they call it, business with the view of getting profits in the dunya as well as in the akhirah. Next. Yeah, these are some of the things that we do. I'm sure all of us do. Next. So spirituality is very important, as we said, and many people in the West are coming to the fact that human beings do have a soul. Those people who are Muslims or those people who are in religious traditions who believe in the soul, they say this is not important. This is important. If you think you understand what is spiritual intelligence, share it with others. If you think spiritual intelligence is explainable through empirical evidence, do explain it, because we need people to embrace strengthening of the soul. We need people to upgrade their soft skills. in terms of purpose of life, in terms of taking care of the ego, in terms of tazkiyatun nafs, in terms of making sure that we are not overcome by greed, by all the negatives traits that got as Al-Ghazali says, sifat-sifat mazmumah, all the evil tendencies in human beings must be overcome by the good tendencies. And we can only do this if we understand that the seed of all good knowledge is the heart. The heart has to be cleansed. And what does that mean? What does that ayat means? What do you mean by cleansing of the heart? Yeah. So again, this is something that religious traditions in Islam, this is very critical, and sometimes it is sidelined. But as research has shown, the heart, the qalb, actually is more intelligent than the brain. So let's look at spiritual intelligence in a very refreshed and rejuvenated manner in the future. Because without it, we cannot save the world. Next. Okay, so the way forward is we need a new language that will harmonize scientific and religious knowledge that can strengthen. Please don't misunderstand. Some people don't like the fact that, oh, Quran is not a book of science. Who said that? We never say that Quran is a book of science. Yeah? It's a book of science, S-I-G-N-S, or ayat, or reminders by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. And it is science. If you go on the road, if you read science on the way, science, it means you're going somewhere, right? So where are we going? That means we have a destination. Our destination is the Creator Himself. For Muslims especially, when you leave this world, where are you going? You're going back to your Creator, and you can start going back to Him by applying what He says you should do. Yeah, and by that, you need to actually convince yourself that that's true. And this is where the scientific evidences, which is mounting more and more every day, is telling us today. So most critically, Al-Mizan is saying the world needs to be in one piece, because otherwise you would miss out on the science of the Creator, and you actually destroying the science of the Creator. Actually, that is a big janayah. There's a big crime, and people are talking about not just genocide, but geocide. You can actually be killing the world, quote unquote. And surely that we need fatwa for that. Yeah? Next. Okay, we need common language. Next. Okay, so this is what we need to avoid. Already we're saying disasters around us, climate change, and everybody knows you have to limit the increase in temperature to 1.5 degrees centigrade, I think. But I think in many places we are already approaching that, if not, already surpassing that. So if we go into an increase of 2 degrees centigrade, we'll have 4 months of the year being very dry. If we move into +3, 10 months of the year will be very dry. So what is life going to be like if 10 months in a year is going to be dry? So already we're saying this, but what our message here is, the message of Mizan is, please don't just look at this and nod and say yes, okay. But after this, you have to actually think, what will I do even in the simplest form of behavior that can change? Yeah. Next. As Surah Al-Zalzalah says, everything that you do, every single small deed is going to be stated. It's going to be rewarded, and vice versa. So we, all of us, are in this together. We need to do this. And I say all of this with the greatest respect to everyone and with the greatest humility. If there's anything that I say that does not meet your standards or you don't agree with, you can communicate with me. My email is available there, and we can inshallah talk some more in the future and learn from each other. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih yang sebesar-besarnya kepada Profesor Emeritus Datuk karena telah merangkum dan menjelaskan berbagai isu yang ada dalam agama, sains, dan humaniora. Terima kasih atas waktu Anda, dan semoga kita dapat berjumpa di lain waktu dan tempat.
InsyaAllah.
Sebelum kita memasuki sesi conversation, Saya mempersilakan kepada all member komite dari Universitas Malaya dan Universitas Gadjah Mada untuk dapat mengambil foto bersama di depan. Kepada all member komite dari UM dan UGM dipersilakan.
Kita sama-sama ke UM dari saja dulu. Lepas tu after that baru dengan semua student. Nampak background. Datang nampak tu,
AJK daripada UGM tadi, aktiviti protokol untuk mengambil gambar bersama. Okey, so ini dulu. Depan ni.
tak sekali. Pastikan jangan nampak.
Okey, mana kamera? Senyum, 1, 2, 3.
Biar Prof dengar.
Okey, Prof boleh dengar?
Kita akan menggambar formal dahulu, dia nanti baru dari bebas. Formal dulu, boleh tengok kamera. Senyum, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okey, gaya bebas. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okey.
Tak cakap. Terima kasih dekat Prof. Assalamualaikum Prof.
Waalaikumsalam, Tania. Terima kasih.
Prof, terima kasih banyak.
Gambar sama Doktor, sorry lah. Dr. Fatana, apa khabar?
Nampak sini. Ustazah tak nampak Prof. Nampak Ustazah kat situ.
Belum. Okey. Prof
Saya
Fauzi
tak-
kat sana ke?
Macam mana Prof?
Prof Fauzi ada kat sana ke?
Prof Aziz tak ada online tadi.
Okey.
Rasa sekarang mungkin beliau dah keluar. Terima kasih banyak Prof.
Terima
Alhamdulillah.
kasih. All the best. Selamat pergi, selamat balik. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you Prof.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih banyak. Thank you ya MC. Lah gambar yang semua tadi dah. Macam kalau dia tak dapat nak buat meeting ni esok
Saya memberitahukan bahwa kami telah menyiapkan makan siang untuk seluruh tamu yang terletak di depan ruangan kita hari ini untuk kita teruskan dengan acara seterusnya, yaitu lunch and free discussion. Kami juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih yang sebesar-besarnya kepada para tamu yang terhormat dan yang kami hormati karena telah meramaikan acara kita pada hari ini. Besar harapan kami agar baik Fakultas Filsafat Universitas Gadjah Mada beserta dengan Akademi Pengajian Islam Universitas Malaya dapat terus memiliki hubungan persaudaraan dan silaturahmi yang baik sehingga dapat bersama-sama mencapai tujuan yang mulia. Dengan itu, dijemput untuk silakan nikmati snack, makanan, dan minuman yang telah disediakan dan mengambil kesempatan ini untuk saling mengobrol, berkenalan satu sama lain, serta berdiskusi santai hingga jam 10.05 pagi tepat di ruangan ini. Mohon dipersilakan.
Teman-teman dari UGM mungkin bisa maju ke depan, kita santai selain kita bisa diskusi bersama, ngobrol-ngobrol, kenalan.